It won't peak.
Normies Podcast.
Yo.
Hey.
Hello.
Happy
Good.
Friday morning, everybody. Guten Tag.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, so off tops, it's the Talking Normies Podcast. You know where we're at. You know what we're doing. We're going to start with a little bit of a weekend update, and since I'm the only asshole talking, I'm going to start. Plus, it just makes sense because if we go left to right, then we get to introduce our guests at the end. Weekend update. I got a car stolen.
Not
It
like
turns out it
SNL.
costs a lot of money to get that back. I don't care about all that. Fuck all the doom and gloom. We've been promoting our song that I did. I did a song with Vessel Portman. He's British, so that's why I say his name like that.
Hey.
Portman. We got a music video out, and I don't know. That's it. We're kind of telling people about that.
Check it out.
Is this the person that you've been collabing on an album with?
Yeah.
You guys made a music video now?
Yeah, we made a music video now, man. It's out there. It's
That's
called
real.
Loose Ends.
How did you do that remotely?
Well, so he was like, hey, the music video is black and white. Get some shots of your city and then send them to me. And then like shoot yourself rapping. I was like, all right, I got you. And then I
That's
just made
sick.
it black and white and I was like, here you go.
Were you
That's
out
sick.
there when Chris was like, "Hey, well, so can you one of you record me? I'm about to shoot my verse."
No.
Yeah.
Music video. He
Yeah.
just got it like right outside there, right by
And
the
I
parking lot.
thought I'd be cool, and I brought some weed to smoke for the music video, and then I got way too high. Then I just walked around downtown and
Bad
tried to
idea.
record the music
You
video.
didn't have to actually smoke.
Yeah, I did. I'm a fucking method actor. And anyway,
They used the fake stuff in the end.
the first part of the music video I was like, this shit's terrible. I'm way too high. So then I reshot it soberly, and it came out good. And you guys can go see that. And then I showed a bunch of my artwork, which is pillows with a butt on one side and genitals on the other side. People really like those for some reason.
Honestly,
I mean,
yo, you
I'll
got
say you got something there.
Yeah, it's an art project. It's about body positivity. It's hard to show on the internet for obvious reasons.
Get that on the monitor right there.
I'll bring the pillows in and I'll have Spencer track the blur on.
Yeah, or we can show the butts. We just can't show the other side.
Yeah. So we'll all hold up the pillows and we'll have genitals in our face and you guys will have butts in yours. And
Perfect.
Yeah,
I
and a
love
nipple
that.
quilt, so-
Love genitals in my face.
that's what I did this weekend. I made butt pillows like some kind of serial killer.
Pretty active. You know, make me feel bad. I just play video games. What'd
you play?
I'm actually super obsessed with the Guardians of the Galaxy video game. It's on Game Pass now, so I was checking it out. Dude, it's really well done. It's like super, super well done. It's highly polished. I actually like some of the character portrayals in the game more than the movies.
What kind of game is it?
It is an RPG. It's kind of like the Avengers game, but like way more polished. It's a little bit Mass Effect, little bit.
Does it make you feel like Star-Lord?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
yeah.
The scripting in the game is really well done. Like, you know how there's multiple paths you can go down, and
Yeah.
one of them is always a dead end. So, like, I'll be going down that way, and Rocket's like, that's a dead end, and I won't listen to him, and I'll go check it out anyways, and then on my way back, he'll be like, I fucking told you so. So it's really well done. And that's all I did. I play video games.
No, that's dope. I was quoting Video Game Donkey because he always makes fun of IGN whenever they do reviews. They're like, this game makes you feel like Spider-Man.
Oh.
Like, this makes you feel like Batman. But like I mean, that's what it should do. But
Yeah.
it's funny. It's just funny that this is a blase statement that all reviewers make.
Right.
I've been going to the gym on weekends because I can't find the time during the week. Corey and I have
This
been,
guy.
my fiance and I have been like trying to stick to 3 a week.
Okay. All right.
And we just haven't been able to get in there this week at all again. Last weekend we worked out, so this weekend we're just gonna be working out again, trying to stay in shape.
3 weeks of solid.
What do you do when you're working out? Is it all cardio?
It's all like, well, Corey does cardio. I'll do cardio sometimes, but like the 2 bouts of COVID really still make me winded. Like when I do cardio.
Damn, son.
So I do lifting, do arms and chest and back.
Oh.
I try not to skip legs because we know someone out here with the leg issue. Pat, calling you out.
Trying to get those toned moves.
I'm trying to get toned moves. You know, my nipples keep piercing through my shirt. I should just recede them a little bit. No, I'm just trying to be healthy. Honestly, I just it's getting to the point where like Philip DeFranco is talking about all his health problems and his dieting, and I'm like, I need to fix my
Sheesh.
diet and my health. And so weekends, I don't see them as like always super fun anymore. I do get to spend time with family. I always see family on weekends now.
But that's fun, right?
Work out. It is fun. Yes.
All right. You gotta
never
get those
know.
salads, bro. That'll do it for you.
And then we have someone else here today who's gonna be giving us his weekend catch up. Sam Mirpoorian. He actually went to the same school Chris and I did that Mickey honorarily went to.
Mickey was there every day. Didn't actually attend school.
They should give me a degree though. Like I should just go knock
Honorary
on the door.
Before I tell you who he is and what he does, Sam, what did you do over the weekend or this weekend? What are your plans?
This weekend, man, just take it easy. The weather looks really nice. Last weekend was a bit of a tease because it was like, wasn't it like 25 on Sunday?
You gotta feel it out, right?
And it was like 70 Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prior to COVID, I worked out, go to the gym. Health is wealth. Since COVID has happened, I just run outside every day. So just making sure.
Oh,
I
you're
run.
one of those people who just be outside running. What you running from?
5 miles every day. Yeah.
What are you running from?
Running from, man. Like you want like. It's a good question. I got. By the end of the episode, I'll have an answer.
I thought
for
that
you.
was your statement, running from man.
So let's talk about who exactly Sam is. Sam is a local award-winning filmmaker here in Indy. He has he's gotten several nominations, including Emmy nominations for his short doc Dion, and he also had another short doc, right? Little Warriors, that won the Heartland Film Festival.
Shout out to Heartland.
I know there's a lot of aspiring filmmakers out there, or even aspiring content creators that mostly start out being super into film. And we're just gonna shoot the shit with Sam today on the podcast, talk about his journey, how he got here. Mickey, Chris, and I all consider ourselves filmmakers as well. We've obviously gone down a different path. So Sam is here to kind of talk about what he does, all his accolades, and yeah, I'm just excited to talk to you and get to know your journey, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Just there's a butt right there. It's hard to stay focused and locked in.
As I said, different paths, right?
The butt watches you.
Appreciate you coming here with us before you blow up too big, or we need to talk to your agent beforehand.
Oh my
but
goodness.
yeah, let's talk about your journey a little bit. When did you decide you wanted to be a filmmaker?
Yeah, man. By the way, do you guys ever feel compelled to just go super like Terry Gross mode and just NPR this mic?
Yeah.
Oh my god. NPR is my everyday morning, so yeah, 100%. Just want to be like, what do you think about that?
Hey everyone, we're here. It's Friday morning. Yeah. So, well, I played basketball. I'm gonna try to spark note this. I played basketball my entire life, as you can see. I'm 6'3", so like I was always active. Wanted to play college. Played in high school, and then just kind of realized, I didn't really want to play at a smaller school or just kind of figure out that path. So I think I just started, picking up a camera, but I also think subconsciously, like it was probably embedded in me because my dad worked at IU, part of the IT tech team, support team. So he would always bring like laptops and computers, and I used to mess around and fix them. And he also used to have like the DVC, like Panasonic massive camcorder.
Yeah, those are the joint.
The brick.
So I think from there, it just is a matter of progression and tried to ascend with every project. And it started in 2012 really with rap videos locally here on a T2I. And then
How many did you do?
Oh man, how many free ones did I do?
Bro,
Probably.
tell us about it.
Get your name out there. It's
Dude, over 100,
exposure.
over 100 to 200.
Did you ever get the fun chance to do any really trappy ones where people just got the guns and the cameras and you're like,
Oh yeah,
those are the
shoot them up in the air.
yeah. You're like, bro, I'm gonna die. I filmed those too. Nice, I like that.
The coolest experience, though, is actually someone that I have a really good relationship today with that we're talking about doing work is Ibn Inglor. He actually is doing some really cool stuff in the NFT space, but we shot a music video in his Southside Chicago project. And that was the first time I'd ever been in that. And like you're talking cop cars moving in and out of lanes as if they're great white sharks. I mean, it was the most like intimidating thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I bet.
But got into film in 2017, and that's when Little Warriors kind of happened. And that I would say catapulted my small career into where I am now 5 years later.
That won the Heartland Film Festival award, right?
Yeah, so it was the grand prize winner at the Heartland Film Festival. Actually, that was the last year that they were picking up shorts too, which was really cool because that was the last short.
The forever title.
What was your headspace? Like, what is that feeling like when you get like significant recognition for the first time, like for something that you've done? Like, what was your headspace with that?
I think how I guess approach projects and think about stuff is you obviously can't let any of that stuff really get to your head. At the end of the day, it's like I'm incredibly grateful. I'm incredibly blessed. I'm thankful. Like before we started, I was telling you, like health is wealth. That's the only thing that I really care about. And so like if people take the time to watch something, they have nice things to say. If it gets picked up on a network or whatever, it goes on YouTube, or it's just a really humbling experience. Absolutely.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm like curious because we never really talk about this. Chris, Mickey, like when did you guys, like briefly, figure out that you wanted to be in this space?
Man, for me, I guess it was like when I started going to art. So I've been good at like drawing my whole life just as like a hobby, and I actually took a bit of time between high school and college to like really figure out what I wanted to do. Didn't figure it out. So I was like, fuck it, I'll go to art school. It's something I'm good at.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So I went to art school. Actually went there for video game programming first. Very first class I took, I was like, nope. And then we were learning like Apple script, and I was like, nope, nah. This is taking all the creativity out of the creative thing that I want to do. So I was like, switch my degree, and the only other option was media arts and animation. And I think it was King's class, man. It was if we're talking about the same person, before the podcast we were talking about a similar teacher we might have shared, but I learned Premiere in that class, and I learned video manipulation, and I was super into movies like already, so I think that kind of...
Wait, was that when you filmed the chase thing that we did?
Yeah, that weird like chase. Yeah. So it was through art school that I was like, oh wait, like, you know, I'm learning film principles. I don't think I'm going to be a video game designer, because the people at that school were like Pixar level talented, and I was like, I am not in competition here.
Are they at Pixar now? Where are they at?
You know, some might be. There was one, Bobby Giles. He was super talented. Zeb Wood was one.
He teaches at IUP, right?
Yeah.
He does, yeah. So Zeb Wood teach at and his class was amazing. He was like the professor. Everybody loved him there. Very strict but very fair. And he definitely like had his crew of students that it felt like he was like kind of building his team as he was teaching. Nice. So a lot of them went to go work for Zeb Wood.
An ode to what you were saying, I didn't mean to cut you off, is that I think it's incredibly demanding and unrealistic for like an 18-year-old kid to immediately jump into college too, like right after high school.
Like you're barely ready. You just got out of high school.
We're ill-equipped.
You were a fucking teenager still. I mean, you know, you got to do it if you got to do it. I like that people can take gap years. Like when I have a kid, if they're a teenager, I'm like, yeah, no, take a fucking gap year.
Yeah, normalize
Go learn your
gap
life.
years. Normalize breaks.
But be strict about the gap, because like your gap can turn into like a long time, because you're like, no, I'm still figuring it out. No, you got to figure it out eventually, but it's okay to take a little bit of a break to figure it out. But don't get, you know.
Dude, I had to. Like, I worked at Banana Republic for 3 months and ended up quitting.
I worked at Express.
You guys worked across the hall from each other.
Everyone in life should work retail, food, or customer service.
Yes.
You need to get shit on properly before you think that it's okay to shit on anybody else. And then you're like, wow, I should be a good person.
Yeah, I worked clothing retail, and I was a server at a restaurant. Those are two very important jobs in my life.
Yeah. I'm telling you. And when I was, do you guys ever used to go to the university library at all?
Yes. That was the place all the Indians hung out.
Yeah.
I worked there for 4 years, and that was like my customer service experience, like all through my undergrad. So
it is hugely important. I agree.
I apologize for all the loud Indian kids that were on the fourth floor every year.
Oh yeah, fourth. That's where I would work, just at the big desk right outside the elevator. Yeah,
that's awesome. I shot a like an interactive game video for the university library a few years back. They like saw a project we did in class and hired me and another kid to do it. And it was like when YouTube annotations, you could click.
The choose your own adventure.
Yeah, so we did like a choose your own adventure, like the mystery of like the library.
Wait, what year was that?
20.
I left in 2014,
2014.
Really? I was there from 2013 and 2017. So you should send me that.
Wow, maybe you're in it.
Yeah, I kind of want to see that.
That's hilarious. I will. It's very cringe now. I would never do any of those filmmaking techniques. But Mickey was there. His character was named Desmond. And I named the other character Jack.
Of course.
Charlie.
Yeah, can we pull that up?
So
Chris, how'd you get into the film?
I got into it because I've always been a musician, and so I was gonna go to school for music. But before that, I like had a song, and I was like, fuck, we need to make a music video for it. I'm going to see if I can find his music video because it's trash. I had a cracked copy of Sony Vegas to edit on, which is dead.
Pirate Bay.
Right? But I got like big into like the like effects and like tracking and all that shit. So I did this music video, and it sucked. And then I went to school for music, and then I got kicked out my first semester. And then I was like, well, I need to go to another school. And I went to IUPUI because they had the audio video program, but also like the music classes I was taking at ISU and Terre Haute were stupid. It was for music business, and they were like, you can be an A&R. And I was like, damn, have y'all heard of MySpace? Like, A&Rs are not a job anymore, really. Yeah. People find people through the internet. So I went to that, and then I was like doing all that, and I kind of started because I was like, I want to learn the music part about like designing, like sound design and editing audio and all that, so I could be like an engineer in a studio and a producer because I was already making beats and making music. But then I was like, oh, well, learning video is cool. And then when I got that's when everybody started using DSLRs instead of camcorders. So I had the Nikon D3100 because it was cheap and I could afford it. And then I got into photography that way too because I was like, I should learn photography if I'm going to learn videography. They're the same practice essentially.
Yeah.
And then I just started making videos. I was like, man, this shit is fun. And then YouTube was kind of popping off, and I had a bunch of crazy YouTube ideas that I wanted to do with friends, and I tried stuff with like Mike Lugerai. Well, I don't know. We just did cool stuff, and we did the first 48 or the 48-hour film festival, and I was on the winning team.
Turn up.
2 times was it? I think maybe twice.
Rub it in, buddy. We were competing the same year. He dusted our team.
It was. I got to do the music for one and a little bit of acting in the other, and like there's some sound effects. And I also worked at a Halloween store, so it was perfect. So I was like, yeah, we can just go to a Halloween store and grab any kind of props that we need.
Yeah.
So that man, then after that I started like watching films and learning about it and learning about what you can do with like filmmaking and how documentaries can be impactful, and that like film can also be a way like do activism. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
You want to be an activist and you know how to make movies, then you can make propaganda. Proper propaganda.
Artivist.
So
Hey, I like that.
So yeah, like stuff like that, like avant-garde, and then like just I don't know, like I really like old movies. Like I got into the whole like Godard thing. Like I watched some of the French New Wave shit. Like all of that, I think you can learn from it. There's a lot of great Russian cinema that
Did you watch?
is the reason why we do like montages and all the other shit we do.
Jean-Luc Godard.
Unshenendelu. Did you watch?
Nah, I watched 400 Blows, Young Truffaut, and there's this another one where this dude just
Breathless is the one
robs
that they
people.
always attach the French New Wave.
For the discontinuity editing,
The
right?
Jean-Luc Godard,
Yeah.
My bad. I think it's just from the Dogma. I don't know what the fucking movement was called, but I don't know, man. I just like shit like that. I was like, this is great and this is good. And then you start seeing like the Nigerian film scenes taking off. Like I also grew up watching a lot of what I like to call hood classics, which when a rapper gets big enough to make his own independent film about his life, they typically do.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
Get Rich or Die Trying, except for I'm talking like indie films. Like there's one called I'm About It, made by Master P and them, which is like you can watch it on YouTube right now. It's low quality. It's 240p. It starts off with a little kid holding 2 guns. There's a cop named Friendly in it who fucking sucks. But like all of those movies, like these hood classics, are like just people making movies to tell stories any way that they can. And like I'm like, that is great. Like cinema is like one of those things that anyone could really do. Especially now, everyone's got a cell phone. You can make a movie.
Oh yeah, now it's easier now than ever. Like
Yeah.
Great storytelling.
I'm gonna be really quick because I want to keep this focus on Sam, but also I wanted this to be kind of a conversation, so as we can talk about our experiences. I've always been fascinated with stories. I was making stop motion Lego videos with my dad's camera when I was like 8. Went to school, always wanted to do video, but Indian parents were like, no, you doctor, pharmacy. So,
Oh, dude, Iranian parents, yeah, same thing.
Yeah, yep. Oh,
That's the only reason why I got my master's, because my dad wouldn't shut up about it. Absolutely.
I went to pharmacy first.
Really?
Dropped out.
Oh,
Pharmacy again, dropped out.
Oh,
and then I had to write an essay to IUPUI of like, here's why I want to come back to school. Because I was on academic probation, because I just didn't show up to class anymore. That's how I stupidly chose to go about it. And eventually finally found that new media program that me, you, and Chris were in.
Dude, best thing ever.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what a DSLR was until I took that fucking class. And it was great, man. They had us pumping out short, like Thomas Lewis, the professor, he for the first time made that intermediate video class just short film competition. So he'd pit 2 teams against each other. We had to do a short film. Our opposing team had to do a short film. And literally one would get the A if he liked it better, and the other would get 0.
I taught that class in 2019. So
You
I got,
taught that?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
to see that. I got to
Nice.
see that.
What an intense
brutal.
experience.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
But
and like-
I loved it.
It'll get you going.
great way to learn though. I mean, I like teachers that like
Friendly
do
competition.
practical
Yeah.
teaching,
Yeah.
not just like book teaching.
So the whole point is you can start anywhere with this. Like you can either be obsessed with the time, kind of slide into it, or even starting with sports. Like that is a wildly different avenue, you know? So people get here in different ways. So I always find the journey interesting. I dropped out twice. What about you? We were talking a little bit before the podcast of all the different jobs and gigs that you've had.
Yeah.
How many times have you been fired, Sam?
Oh yeah. Graduated high school in 2011. Took the year gap basically. So I didn't go back to school. So graduated in May 2011 from high school. Enrolled in college summer May 2012. During that time, I worked at Banana Republic. I quit. And then after I graduated, I worked at the university library for that 4-year stretch during my undergrad. So I was good. Had a stable job.
Nice.
making like, I don't know, 13, 14 an hour.
was
Library
Bookie
man.
Bucks.
Yeah, back in the, what'd you say?
Say young library man.
Yeah. I was a technology, well, I started out as a computer consultant. We used to wear the Aladdin vests. And then
I remember this.
and they never took those home to wash, so they always smelled so musty.
Oh my god.
So then throughout my 4 years, I ended up getting promoted a couple times, and I finished my post with the red polo, the esteemed red polo with the Jaguar, student technology supervisor. So went from $8.50 an hour to 14.
Nice.
So when I finally graduated undergrad, I started working at MS Communications as a computer IT analyst for 3.
What do they do?
Radio, it's a radio station, so
Yeah.
they do magazines, radio, broadcast, just stuff like that locally and regionally. Got fired after 3 months. It was supposed to be a year-long internship. Got fired after 3 months because I kept changing my schedule because I was trying to do projects. I was just prioritizing projects, and then we didn't talk about this one, but and I don't know if I'll get wrath for this, but 3 months later, I ended up getting hired at Young and Larimore ad agency right on Lockerbie Square, which is like a mile from you guys.
Yeah.
Worked there for about 9-10 months. Great place, great situation. Just when you're in that office setting, you realize a lot of things where you're wasting a lot of time. You don't need to be there from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And COVID kind of expedited that too, where you can do a lot of your work remotely, if not all of it. So I'm just sitting at my desk, twiddling my thumbs, like realizing I'm wasting my time. And that's when I actually started developing my first like feature doc, which is what I'm currently wrapping up now. And this was 4 years ago.
Nice.
And then I was like going on my lunch breaks. I was taking phone calls. I was like just doing the most and prioritizing that. And I ended up getting fired from there. And then, I mean.
So you've
fucking
been working
dream.
on a feature doc for the last 4 years,
Yeah.
and yet you've still released these short docs that have won awards at film festivals, 4 local Emmy nominations for Dion. How the hell do you juggle all this stuff? Which, by the way, I just want to shout out, if you're an aspiring filmmaker, student, or youngin out there, do projects. Don't just do the homework and the class assignments.
Yeah.
The only way I feel like I succeeded in my path was doing projects. And we always did outside projects. If you're not doing that, then you got to have the drive. If you don't have the drive to do it, you need
the passion for it.
fill your plate up.
You gotta
Don't
build
do
that
too much
portfolio.
though, because obviously it can
Yeah.
crumble, but it works out for the best. Sorry, go on.
No, you're good.
A feature while you're doing all this stuff.
I will say a lot of failure, man. I'm telling you, like a lot of failure. So much failure. Like I said, I got fired from 2 jobs. I failed John King's class at IUPUI. I didn't even take a video class in college. So it's like I always just prioritize projects over anything, and that it's sacrificial too. Where you may not have the most thriving social life. You may not go out as much. A lot of your money, and you may sink into debt a little bit. Like I can't tell you how many times I've maxed out credit cards and stuff for projects. But right now I'm in a great place, so I'm happy where I'm at. But it's like that journey along the way, and I'm not even speaking as if I'm even at the pinnacle of where I want to be. I feel like I'm as low as you can get. I just feel like I've just working on some really cool projects. But I just think
Sell himself short.
I just think you just have like kind of got what you guys just said. You got to be passionate about it. You got to really sacrifice. I think when I was shooting, the film's called Greener Pastures. It focuses on 4 farm families across the Midwest, as it talks about climate change, suicide, and food production. As farmers have the highest rate of suicide among any profession in the United States. This was the CDC did a series of statistics on this. Then NPR ran a story in spring of 18, and then basically from there I did Discovery for 6 months, and then started shooting full time from October 18. Shooting went from October 18, right when I got fired from Young and Larimore, to this past summer 21. So shot for 3.5 years, and then I edited quite a bit of it, and then we brought in a finishing editor, and that's where we're at right now. But during that time, I was getting my master's. I was teaching Thomas's class in the spring of 19.
It's tight. I
was living off like a $20,000 grant, so I was pretty broke at that point. And then I ended up linking up with the filmmakers and the producers from Netflix's The Social Dilemma, which they also made.
Nice.
We
Chasing
reacted
Ice.
to that.
Oh, we did react to that.
Yeah, Chasing Ice, Chasing Coral, and The Social Dilemma. So I've been working with those individuals, and so yeah, it's just ready to finish it, man. It's been a long time, and in the meantime, when I wasn't on the road, because I was gone for about months on end.
Yeah.
Beard was longer than your guys's. Like and then when I was home, I was shooting with Sonny. I was shooting with Dion. I was shooting Sonny, and then Destination Park was right before that, and then we got the Atlantic release after Tribeca, and then Sonny had an awesome run, and yeah, man, just
Can I ask you a question?
ask me any question.
Sweet. All right. So look,
I got one after Chris.
I watched Sunny. I also
real quick, we're gonna post the link to Sunny in the chat so you guys see it. It's a 10-minute short doc. Highly recommend.
It's amazing.
Okay, go on.
So look, I watched Sunny, and I also watched the one about truck drivers, and also hearing this one about the farmers. Like, I think that you have a really good eye for picking stories that are emblematic with what's going on in America in general. That's like kind of shit, but also like picking up on these like stories just about like middle class people in the struggle. And I think that that's really good. But like, one, what made you want to do those kinds of stories? And two, because it's not glamorous, and I do think it's like things that need to be highlighted, but people aren't going to really go for it. They're hard to digest because they're sad and heavy and real. And two, the truck driver one, like what made you do that one? And also you do a really good job there where it's just the people talking. It's like, it's talking heads with not a ton of B-roll, but it's stupid interesting.
Yeah.
Like, you editing those, like how did you, like, I don't know, just how did you come there? Why these stories?
Man, I mean, dude, the Midwest, it's at the epicenter of, like you said, the Rust Belt. It's a grind here. It's gritty, but it's like incredibly interesting. It's a hotbed for really interesting like stories. So I think in 2017, that was kind of like my first exposure to film, and that's when I did Little Warriors, which was on climate change, and that's kind of where I've been kind of occupied in this space currently. But Destination Park and Sunny, I don't know, man. It's just like things you're exposed to on an everyday basis, and like a lot of people what they're saying about Sunny, which I never really thought about. I thought it was really cool where the story is just basically like a simple, regular, everyday dude, and like when you live in the Midwest, like you have those interactions with multiple people.
Yeah.
And like it's just like I don't know. I feel like if you dive a little bit deeper, you take a little bit more of an immersive dive into someone's life, and you talk to them, you find out those intimate details that kind of blow you away. When Dion talked about some of those things, I was just like, damn, like this is really enlightening and very serene and poignant. So I would say why. I just think it's I know it's not the sexiest and most commercial thing, and I know that doesn't sell, and I'm kind of starting to shift a little bit. I can talk to you about the projects I'm developing right now that are more in that space, but yeah, I don't know. I just think it's I guess it's soul nourishing, if I had to put it in a way.
Yeah.
And then the other question you said, Destination Park. That was. It's funny because like now the way the supply chain and how truck drivers are really are having a really like tumultuous time as far as how they're being able to provide goods and stuff and just make it across the country. Like that could be a feature in itself for sure.
I thought it was because it's crazy that you made it in 2019? 2018,
Yeah.
and like the truck convoy thing is happening now, and it's almost partially the same conversation. Like you can see the gripes and the problems that they have as almost already being outcast in society because they're on the road and they're so isolated, and then like having to be interactive with the world in a way that they don't exactly jive with.
Yeah, and like there's beauty in isolation, I think too, where if you can, and again, I'm not to say like being a filmmaker or whatever, like you have to be introspective and be alone all the time, but like working on a piece like Destination Park, you see a lot of yourself in them where you can talk about what you're doing, how you got there, but you can't let that isolation consume you, and it's a little difficult. One of the more interesting things I heard during working on that project was that when you become a truck driver, they usually give you an outfit 2 sizes larger, and they're like, why are you giving me this? And they're like, don't worry, you'll grow into it.
Jesus.
That's depressing.
Truck driving is a huge industry for like I'm Punjabi Sikh. A lot of Indian Punjabi truck drivers. That's like their main, most prominent job aside from gas station and subway. Which our dads both did respectively. But yeah, sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say like with the truck driver thing. There was this one photography piece that I saw where it was just like pictures of a bunch of truck drivers, and it's like half their face just looks different because of the sun constantly shining on it.
It's
you know?
it's a super taxing job.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They're very used to taking pills just to keep themselves up. Sometimes I'm not condoning it, but like they have to do what they can sometimes to pull these ridiculous shifts.
Well, in that documentary, they say that he was like, the truck drivers get institutionalized. He was like, institutionalized will be a thing for anybody who knows anybody who's been locked up. Like, you become institutionalized. You get used to being in the institution of whatever it is, right? It's usually prison, I hear it from. But now hearing about truck drivers, like you'll see a dude who walks in who's like so used to being alone that he walks into a diner full of people laughing and joking. He goes straight to the back, sits alone in his booth, doesn't talk to anybody because he just he's consumed in that. Like that's all he fucking knows is being alone. And then like, I mean, you know, multiply that by, oh, truck drivers are getting us stuff. We saw the supply chain breakdown in 2020. I'm super against the whole the freedom truck rally thing that's going on now, because I think it's like misplaced guidance. But with them being like, hey, you need to be vaccinated to like protect society and all this and that. And I think in a way, after watching a documentary, it feels like they're probably like, bro, I'm barely a part of society. Like, I'm in this truck all the fucking time. Like, why do I need to be vaccinated? Like, I'm barely out of it, barely in of it. But it's a whole public health thing. Man.
There's
it's understandable.
There's no perfect solution to it, because at the end of the day, especially with my feature right now that I'm working on, you can't rely on people. And this is just a specific example where with farmers, and I categorize farmers and agriculture workers in the same vein as truck drivers, because they're suppliers, and they're like the most important profession in the world, in lieu with educators and healthcare workers.
All underpaid.
That's my presidential slogan, because I want to run for office one day.
Hell yeah, you heard it here.
But no, like there's no perfect solution, because you can't expect or put that demand on people. There's 8 billion people in the world. They're not going to be backyard farmers. They're not going to be, they're not going to do these kind of things. So it's like, what are you supposed to do? You know, it's like they make really good money, but it's at what cost? So it's like what can you?
It's kind of for their families.
It's just what it is. Yeah.
Like those truck drivers, you can make great money, but like the one dude was like, man, like it was super sad. He's like, my wife is dying. He's like, I've been making all this money for us, and she's got dementia. He's like, she's not even about to know who I am. So like, what am I gonna do? He's like, get back on the road, keep making this fucking money, because these bills need to get paid. It's like, that is, for me, that's like the heart of America. Like when I think my wife's from Europe, but like,
yourself.
yeah, you get people from other countries that are like, bro, we're out here living the American dream. It's like some people are. Other people are literally being like, the system sucks. I can't afford healthcare, and if I don't work, then like my family will die in a worse way. And like, dude's just like, bills are piling up. Wife doesn't know who I am. I'm back in the truck. I'm making this money. It's the only thing I can do, and that's fucked. And that is the heartland.
Yeah, there's
Heartland.
like there, and you know, when you try to that's good. When you try to figure out ways to combat it and alleviate it, there's just no perfect solution, especially when you try to get up in the policy space. You have so many differing opinions. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
I get depressed often with Corey just talking about the state of the world sometimes, not just with the economy here, but climate change and everything that you're kind of covering. And oftentimes I'm like, babe, like, can I do it? Like, do you think normies could do anything? Because we're in such a different space. We can't, like, people come to us because they want to break from reality too. So we don't want to like talk about that.
That's incredibly important though.
Yeah.
It is important, but like I always wish I could do something more to that. So it's incredibly awesome that you can fulfill yourself by talking about very important issues. Like, to me, climate, there's no other more important issue right now than climate change. But it's crazy that some people still don't believe in it. So I just thank you for doing that, and I'm glad that like it drives you. You know,
I'm actually really psyched for this farmer one that you're talking about.
The feature.
I think that's such a smart approach to take something like climate control, but like tell it through the lens of like your neighbor. You know what I mean? Like, and to make it like, I think that connects more with people, because like you can watch the news and it's like there's a level of like they're just kind of talking at you, but if you hear it from somebody it's actually affecting, I think that's really great. Chris kind of asked my question earlier, but I got one more for you. So,
Gotcha.
It was like how because you tell very specific stories. So I was like, what makes you pick these like, you know, very specific stories? But you said you were living off a grant for a little bit. You had some jobs for a little while.
Yeah.
So you've been working on these projects for like a few years. How have you like sustained yourself?
Yeah, that's a great question. I get that often too, especially when you go on Hinge dates. I've had this countless times where girls just subtly ask, like, what do you do? How much do you make?
You're like, enough?
Yeah.
But we're going Dutch.
pay for this dinner.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's funny, man. Like when you're in the filmmaking space, like unless like you get to a really esteemed level, like you're pretty broke, living on the fringes for sure, living within your means. But I've been lucky enough to start. Actually, it kind of started this year and starting January, a little bit last year, where like I've been able to develop a bit of like a freelance life where I've been able to get some gigs and some work. So I've been doing some stuff with like NBC and PBS, which has been really, really exciting, and it's just helped like sustain life. So I'll do stuff locally and regionally and nationally. Right now, I'm actually wrapping up. Are you guys fans or know Robert Redford? He was Brad Pitt before Brad Pitt.
President Robert Redford.
President, the Watchmen.
Yeah, we did a Watchmen skit when he was president.
Robert Redford has a philanthropic, an environmental nonprofit, and so they send out RFPs for filmmakers to like pitch projects on. I did something with them in 2020 for the election, so I shot with a bunch of kids that were focusing on climate change and like voting your conscience when it was Trump versus Biden. They did an RFP about a month ago for climate-friendly, sustainable, green transportation.
Ooh, hell
I
yeah.
don't know if you knew this, but Indigo here is the only bus rapid transit system in the country that's 100% electric.
Yep.
So
That's awesome.
So I pitched that, and so we ended up coming together, and we're actually wrapping up the piece right now, and it's going to premiere via Grist. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Grist. They're pretty cool and relatively nice. Like they have a nice audience. So we're gonna premiere with them next month. I'll share it with you. It's like 3
Is
minutes.
it a streaming site?
It's like a
streaming
publication.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'll be out and yeah. So
Oh yeah.
But
Can't wait.
but to answer your question, actually I kind of forget what it was. What
Just have
We've been throwing a lot at you, so don't worry.
Have you? What have you done to like sustain yourself?
Oh, sustain stuff is a great question. Yeah. So okay, so that's what I was, just freelance stuff. Yeah, freelance stuff. And,
Nice. Yeah.
yeah, man, just weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, when we were starting with Normies, like I quit my full-time job to try to focus on this because I felt like it would go somewhere.
What were you doing before?
I was at a company called String Can, and they were like a digital marketing company, one of those all-encompassing, like, hey, hire us and we'll do your website, we'll do videos for you, we'll do your marketing, like one of those types of spots. And there was nothing wrong with it. I was doing well there, but I learned a lot from just seeing what my boss at that time was doing. The company's now under, it's gone.
Yep.
And so
No
I finally
shade.
quit, but like having no money coming in, I was doing like weddings, I was doing random
fucking
A/B
weddings.
roll edits for companies, just whatever you can. And even if it doesn't have anything to do with what you want to do, like if you want to become a documentary filmmaker, if you want to become an action genre filmmaker or YouTuber, you still have to do these other things because you learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
Even if it has wildly nothing to do with your space, go shoot that rap video if you need some
Gotta pay your
exposure.
dues.
Yeah, go.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's incredibly like inspiring for you to have this really awesome like company from the ground up, almost at 1 million subscribers. Like that's something to be
Road to 1 million.
super proud of, especially in Indianapolis. Like that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I-
it is wild. It is.
I'm like
wild.
very proud of Indianapolis. Just like I'm proud of what we were able to do here. I'm proud that you're here and that you're proof that you can be a successful filmmaker and be living
Yeah.
anywhere.
Anywhere,
not in
yeah.
LA.
I want to make that a point to our viewers listening too. If you feel like you live somewhere secluded, we're living in a new age now.
Look at 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Open up the world. Really.
yeah, no, it's really awesome, and the fact that the Indianapolis is the first electric Indigo bus, or whatever, that's so cool. I'm proud of the city, and I do think we all can help make it better.
You want to stay here long term?
It wasn't always that way, but now
You bought the
I'm
house,
thinking
man.
about it.
So Sam, here's my last probably big question. We're losing viewers because we're talking about real shit. So now you need to tell us your top 5 animes. Go.
Top 5 animes, man. The only thing I know about anime stuff is
Feel free to make up 3.
what's that thing? Crunchyroll?
Yeah.
Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll is your top favorite anime. I know.
That covers everything.
Isn't that a streaming service?
Yeah, it's a streaming service.
Dude, I mean, the only anime that I've ever watched growing up would probably be Pokemon. Does that even count as anime?
No,
counts.
totally
It
counts.
counts.
Yeah, it
We
counts.
put Jigglypuff on our Pokemon on our anime roster.
Dude, love Pokemon, man.
I have a Pikachu mouse pad.
Wait, so what is the ongoing story there? Like, what ended up happening?
He's still 10.
Oh, with Pokemon, yeah. He's
He just became Pokemon Master last year.
yeah.
Real?
Oh, he's like,
Dude, this
did.
is like
11 now.
This is 25 years in the
Yeah,
making.
Yeah.
it's done. Ash is the Pokemon Master. He can retire. He's done.
But since you do like Pokemon, let me put you on this. There is a Pokemon, you can watch it on YouTube, and it's like a gritty Pokemon. It's still animation, but it's like more akin to the games. And the very first fight that they show, the first Pokemon fight, is just like a Charizard like biting a Squirtle, and a Squirtle's like, ah! Ah! And Charizard's like, ah! Like, it's like, hold on, this shit's vicious. Like, did you make this for me to hate Pokemon because it's a dog fighting simulator? Like, I knew it was, but like, when it's just like on your Game Boy, it doesn't feel so bad. But
have
watching
to-
these cute chibi animals bite each other, you're like, no.
Are you guys fans of Yu-Gi-Oh? Is that anime?
The Heart of the Cards,
I
baby.
used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh.
What was the one Brooklyn dude?
Joey, I'm from Brooklyn. Yugs, I'm Japanese, but I'm also Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh had that ancient Sumerian god inside of him.
Yeah.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Yeah.
The one card where you get all 6 of them, and it's the pyramid dude who's definitely on some evil shit.
What are the more popular anime programs today? Like, would you say?
Attack on Titan.
That's
Attack on Titan,
Yeah.
Demon Slayer,
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen, which we have a surprise.
I feel like you would fuck with Attack
yeah.
on Titan.
How do you watch it? Like, where do you watch it?
Oh.
We support the
Funimation.
official release here on Normies because we're not a market substitute for the original product.
The two big ones are Crunchyroll and Funimation, but they're merging, so it's going to be just Crunchyroll.
Funimation.
And it's like, is that like
Funimation.
$9.99, $15.99 a month?
Something like that. I will say that,
If you want
especially
ads.
because it seems like you like a little bit of political intrigue shit, or at least some sadness.
It's dude
The salt of humanity. So Attack on Titan essentially has that vibe of like, hey, welcome to dismal sadness. Will it get better? Are
would
you in the
say
middle of everything?
It's
Come
the
find
most
out.
accessible anime to those
Yeah.
that don't watch anime now. I would recommend Attack on Titan. It's very
Attack on
good.
Titan.
Yeah, and it will also answer every question you have will be answered, which
I'll
is
come
going to be
back.
the best part.
I'm coming back and I'll interview you guys.
Yeah, full weed.
But we don't have to talk about anime. What else? Like, what do you like to watch? Any other non-fiction work? Like, you're a big documentary fan, but sorry, fictionalized work. What else do you watch on TV right now? Are you watching anything? Do you even have time?
And we get to talk about what we were talking about offline, which
Yeah.
is great. I get asked this question a lot, actually, especially hinge dates, girls.
Yeah.
What do I watch? You like hit it right on, like hit the nail on the head, man. I don't really watch much at all. Which like I read a lot, so I stay up to date with like what's popular and what's trending, and like I'm on IMDb all the time, just reading about what's coming out and stuff. But I don't really watch that much. Like I mean,
in
right?
movies like The Batman, or is that
Yeah,
something?
I want to
interesting?
see it. No, I
Tinder
want to see
Swindler?
it.
The Tinder Swindler was good.
I mean, I definitely want to start making that bridge toward more fiction. Like, I want to do fiction really more than anything. I love nonfiction. Like, I want to be able to do both. But, I mean, Christopher Nolan's probably my favorite filmmaker, just how he's able to do cerebral pieces and just really, thought-provoking different things, and also
Fucking
telling
Dunkirk.
things in the non-linear way. Even back to, like, his Doodlebug and his Following days. So, like,
Following is amazing.
From
I
Memento.
love Following.
So I've really studied him to a T. So I'm hoping to just do some stuff like that. That's my plan. But I'm right now. I'm just I really love dude. I'll keep it simple and watch super fan episodes of The Office. Like I was watching that last night.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec. But
Nice.
I will say, like what you and I were talking about, the 3 most like formidable shows that really transformed my life: Lost, Mad Men, and Breaking Bad.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes. 2 of those we've covered on the channel.
He just came when he said Lost.
We talked
They
about
went
it
hard on
before.
Yeah, can we unpack that? How
Lost
much
was-
time do you have?
we got some time.
Okay.
Lost was the show that I watched. The first show I had ever watched from beginning to end. Like I just happened to see it first episode on TV with my brother, and yeah, it was the show that kind of got me into wanting to do this. And like it was like you could tell these stories are so interesting, and it's the same story with you, right?
Oceanic Flight 815,
Flight 815, man, Jack.
August 2004.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes.
Why don't you two start your own podcast called Relost, where you rewatch
You wanna know how
Lost?
obsessed I was?
to that side of the table.
I Facebook friended a Jack Shepard fan page, and you can look at my. I can show you my messaging in my Facebook app right now. I can just search from 12 years ago. I used to DM this guy and ask him theory questions and write on his Facebook wall asking him questions, and he would answer me.
Damn.
We were in
That is
Hawaii
awesome.
in December, my fiance and I. So we visited Oahu where they shot it, and she found this map for me of all the filming locations. So I hit up as many as possible, like the bamboo forest where
Yes.
Jack first wakes up. I laid down there and had her take a picture.
Do you have that? Can I see it?
I do. I'll show
Yes,
you afterwards.
yes.
It's I've been like working on a vlog slowly. It's so hard to edit outside of work when
Yep.
you're doing this all day.
is.
I've been working on a vlog to kind of show all the locations I've been to, and can't wait for that to come out. But I'm obsessed. You can call it an unhealthy obsession, but
I think it's pretty healthy.
Who's your
I think
favorite?
it's
Who's your
typical
favorite
fan.
character?
in that show.
Yes.
I really do love
Charlotte.
Jack's transformation from like man of science to man of faith.
Man of science,
I really
oh, yeah.
like that.
Yes.
His whole character arc. Desmond, Juliet. I like Juliet a lot too.
She's underrated. Dude, the cataclysmic fall, the declination of how season 6 went down when they just kept killing characters left and right.
Yeah.
Like, and this is one thing that Damon Lindelof used to preach, is that television shows are like a class, and he said Lost was like an AP class, which I thought was always really funny. Because like first 3 seasons, it was very like structurally and linearly told the right way. And then season 4 is when it lost everybody.
Yeah. That's my favorite season.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and that was during the writer's strike.
writer's strike,
Yeah, and they only had like 13 episodes.
That's when it felt weird, because it felt weird. Cause I remember talking about that.
Heroes suffered. I mean, Heroes suffered from the writer's strike.
Season
A lot
2
of things
Heroes
suffered,
what
yeah.
fell off.
I mean,
and he's the
shit,
only
they
other
spent-
person here that's seen Heroes season 1. I think
Same for
Hunter's seen
Cheerleader.
it. Someone else here has seen it.
I will
Season
say,
1 is amazing.
I
Yeah.
will say Lost had some of, like you said, the earlier seasons. I think the character development in that show is like some of the best I've seen for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You go from hating Sawyer to being like, all right, this is one of the most endearing characters on this whole entire fucking show.
Even just the pilot of the show. The pilot is something that should be studied, I think, by future writers, because it says so much about each character without them uttering a word.
Yeah.
There's a whole 2-minute montage of this. Michael Giacchino's amazing, beautiful score, and it's just a close up on every character, and you know about them through just seeing what is displayed on screen. There's no dialogue, and it's just, I think it's great, man. And people like to talk shit about the ending. You can. I'm not gonna hold it against people that hate
Well,
the
let's
ending. How many times have you guys defended?
let's squash this. It's a parallel universe. Season 6.
Spoilers.
12 years later. That was all just the afterlife, though. They were already dead, and they were going to like the next life or heaven, like
In season 6.
Yes, isn't that
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
was
yeah.
basically?
Yes, but a lot of people think that the whole show they were dead.
I don't think so.
common misconception.
No, I think the whole show was live, happening in real time.
It was. I think a lot of people hated it because the finale, they misconstrued the finale. They were like, "Oh, so this whole show was them dead," and we're like, "No, just the season 6 flash."
Well, it was also okay. I know if you did like deep dive, all of the questions were answered. But for me, it was like I was watching the finale and I'm looking at my watch and I'm like, "There's 7 minutes left in the episode," and I have all these questions in my head, and I'm like, "What is gonna happen?"
I wish there was some closure. The only thing I wanted closure about was, the pilot. He took off on that plane.
Lapidus.
Did they make it out?
Oh, like at the end?
Yeah, did they make it out? That's all I wanted closure about it.
I think
Yeah?
they did.
I
I
think-
think we were to assume they did.
Yeah.
So my one hot take from all of Lost is that the
Did you
Man
dare
in
say-
Black did nothing wrong.
No.
Yes.
Wait, the Man in
The Man in Black
He
did nothing wrong.
100%
It
agree
literally,
with that.
when you finally,
He was not the
isn't
evil
it
one.
after Paterno?
He was the embodiment of human greed, basically.
But the whole thing was,
But like, he
is
just
that-
wanted to get out.
That from the
just wanted
onset,
to
you
get
got
out.
Jacob and you got the Man in Black, right? And the Man in Black's like, "I'm going to leave the island," and Jacob's like,
No,
"You can't
you
because
can't
you'll
do
do
it."
bad stuff." And essentially, like, he put him in this position where, sure, he could be the embodiment of evil, but until that point, he hadn't really done anything evil, and he was just
But
like,
that's
He just wanted to
that's
get
part
out.
of why they did that. They wanted to make Jacob not that good, and they wanted to give us
Yeah.
backstory
yeah.
for
And
it.
that's so for
like,
me,
feel
like, I
it
hear
was-
that, and I'm just like, damn, like, I understand that.
It was one of the first
What
few
he's supposed
shows
to
that
be,
did that.
let
Like,
him out.
Smoke Monster.
Let
did
him
nothing
fucking
wrong.
out.
Hashtag.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It was one of the first
Previously
few.
on Lost. The Man in Black did nothing wrong.
But that was the point, that like there is no such thing as a purely evil person or purely like good person.
Yeah.
Like, each character in that show had things they were struggling with and terrible things they'd done in their life. So not even the essence of evil incarnate itself is entirely evil. Like that was purposefully done.
you guys watch Mad Men?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
dude,
I never finished it. But
I-
I thought I loved Matthew Fox, man. I love John Hamm.
Bro, John Hamm.
I can't talk shit about John Hamm.
John
He's
Hamm's
an
amazing.
excellent actor,
Dude,
man.
dude,
Yeah.
That show, my favorite character in that one is Peggy. What's her name?
Elizabeth Olsen?
Elizabeth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She. I loved her. Because we watch Handmaid's Tale, and
Yeah.
she fucking in the Invisible Man absolutely
Yes.
killed it. Like, she's a really good actress,
really
and like
good,
I really
man.
liked her part in there because she kind of is like this like shitty secretary.
Dude, they put her in a
chick.
fat suit.
They
she
did.
Got, she got pregnant.
Yeah.
Or Mad Men?
No, in Mad Men, she got pregnant. Have you seen it? You seen it?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen the first season.
Oh,
Yeah,
I need
well,
to
did she
go
get
back.
the fat suit? in
I think
season
it's
one?
like no, because she gets pregnant towards the end of that season because she
Yeah.
fucking.
Oh,
hooks
but
up
I've
with
seen
Pete.
some of season 2 where she
And
is
then
pregnant.
but it's
with that one dude's.
it ends
Yeah,
and it's so
yeah.
good and it's one of those shows that people watch and they're like, I want to be Don Draper. And it's like,
Dude.
you missed the point.
Dude.
you missed the point of the show.
I mean,
dude.
same with Walter White. Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
dude.
Like, you
Man.
missed the point.
People
Don
wanna
Draper
be
is a
bad
sad fuck. He's balls. He doesn't fuck anybody
That
once.
character arc though, man,
Sad.
that development is insane.
Yeah.
Walt Whitman to like that whole thing, like
Yep.
his upbringing, dude. And then,
Oh, yeah.
Which once again, it's another one because I really love them when like you watch it with people and they like take even the creators are like, you weren't supposed to watch this and be like, I want to be that guy at the end. There's plenty of things to admire in Walt and in John Hamm's character, but at the end of the day, they're like these super, super sad dudes. One of them is a fucking mass, crazy-ass murderer who blew up a nursing home. And the other one couldn't keep a stable family worth a damn. And that's the only thing he ever really wanted. And, like, shit just went all the way downhill. And the one thing he was good at was selling shit to people, which, take a look at fucking America, baby. You think we got more ads? You think he done a good thing?
That one scene though where he sells the carousel.
Oh yeah,
That is like the best scene in that.
Oh yeah, season one.
Damn, I need to
finale.
go back and
Yeah.
finish the show. I can't even remember how.
It's the first
where
show.
up to I watched it.
The first and only show to win 4 Emmys for outstanding drama series. First
Yeah.
4 seasons.
Goddamn.
So it did its thing. Like it was.
Well, Sam, you know what you need to watch?
Which one?
I'm going to just suggest
Crunchyroll.
Game
No,
of
no.
Thrones.
The Wire. You should-
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The Wire is...
Same
Oh,
level.
you would love that.
Have
Yeah,
you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I need to.
Oh,
you
want
wanna
to?
have some good old
that
gritty
is
sadness.
right up your alley.
Yeah, up your alley as far as like you
the-
want
the
if you
work
want to
that
go
you're doing.
fictional, but
Yeah.
you still want to portray real life struggles.
R.I.P. Michael K. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
for reals.
Yeah.
Great guy.
I want to switch gears a little here a little bit. I have a 2-part question for you.
Yeah.
I want to take you back to your free music video days.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
So, question number
Character. We're talking about character development.
one. Question number 1.
So season 1, Sam.
What was the absolute wildest project that you shot where you were like, what the
man.
fuck am I doing here? And then 2, what was the project that you shot that at the end made you go like, you know what, I need to start getting paid for this shit?
Man.
Those are good questions.
Dude, I gotta think about it right now because like it's actually funny. I remember the very first music video I ever shot. It was in 2012. It was hot as hell outside. My nose started bleeding as soon as we started shooting. So I had to, and as it just started coming down, it's like, all right, this is a good start to my new T2I experience. But dude, man, I'm telling you, like hundreds of free videos. And all the songs were bad.
Oh, yeah.
99% of the songs were bad. And it also really was demoralizing because none of the artists would ever really like convey appreciation.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even like appreciate. It was just an expectation. Like they were entitled to it. I'm just like, man.
You were talking about the local rap scene music because I was there too, man. And so like you don't get that kind of appreciation really, or money.
That's a cute dog. Not to. Again, that was like. But without those experiences, I certainly wouldn't be here or have the resiliency or the grit that I possess. So like it's an ode, man. Like I appreciate it and I loved it and it was just part of the process. But man, like hundreds and hundreds of them. And then I think really it was just a slow burn to like the last one I did was like in 2016, 17, right near Trump's inauguration. And I didn't even get paid for that. But dude, I just think like film just started happening. There wasn't really like an inciting moment where I was like, I'm done. It just kind of naturally happened, and I feel like I just like accepted that and c'est la vie. Like here I am now. So
Can I add on to that with you?
of course,
So,
yeah, man.
I had a neighbor named Drama, spelled with a J. Shout out to the homie.
JRAMA.
Yes.
Drama.
Yeah, he was like, "What up, bro? My name Drama," and I was like, "All right, bet." And then we started like doing music videos. He was like, "You," because I had my camera with me because I take pictures. I was like, "Yeah." So found out it was spelled with a J. I was like, "That's dope." But we did this one where it was like, bro, it was all the guns were in it, like at the camera, and I'm just like, I'm gonna die.
Like loaded?
Like they, I don't know if they're loaded. No one's practicing trigger discipline in this bitch. I'm like, I'm gonna get popped. I remember being like, because he was my neighbor, like it was a duplex. So like I'd be at his house often. We'd be hanging out on the porch. And there was one time one of his buddies was like, tried to pay me in a bag full of weed. It was just like a Kroger bag. And I was like, bro, I was what am I supposed to do with that? He's like, sell this shit, man. I was like, give me money. Like, so I got like $50 or something for one of the music videos. But like drama shit was like dope. And I enjoyed the videos because we were neighbors, we had to like work collaboratively with each other, right? We can't have a shit relationship. So like he gave me a lot of like creative freedom. I got to do some things that I hadn't tried before. And then the very last music video I did before I like stopped doing music videos for a while was I was moving out of the house I was living in. So one of my buddies who was like, he was doing like shit in Atlanta, and we went to high school together. He was like, hey, can we do a music video? And I was like, I'm about to move out the crib. Let's like just throw a party here. Like the house was empty. And I was like, you can have as many people over as you want. And like the only room still set up was my bedroom. It was like the last day. It was like strippers in my bedroom and shit, dancing on my bed, people on the couch, and like just wilding out.
I need some pictures.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I'll send you the link. It's called Rent. It's by Rob Ski, Skee.
Pixar didn't have
And like you can just tell it's hot and sweaty in there. And I shot a bunch of it. I didn't edit any of it. And then like cleaning up the next day, I broke my tooth. Like I was eating like something, and like I chipped my tooth, and I was like, "Fuck." And then I just thought to myself, I was like, "Damn, bro, you just had this huge party. You just shot this music video. You made like a couple $100. You just chipped a tooth. You have no health insurance.
Oh, dude.
Like,
I got some.
what are you going to do with your life?" Like I was like, "I gotta figure it out."
Probably the two most memorable stories, and then if we can switch gears.
Yeah,
This is hilarious. In 2013 or 14, we shot Meek Mill house party.
Yeah.
What year was that? 2014 probably?
Into my house party.
Yeah. So two rappers locally in Indianapolis. We shot this in a Broad Ripple house party. I mean, like 50 plus kids, drunk as hell off Ciroc, getting high as shit. I used to bring my confidant, my associate, my buddy. We call him Beef. He would just join me. He would just hang out. He was just this stoic, burly dude. He was basically like security. He would just hang out with me, right? So he's by me the whole night, and I'm shooting, right? And everyone's just fucking drunk. And progressively throughout the night, I see him starting to fade. And I really couldn't tell if he was drinking or smoking or what. By the end of the night, the shoot's over, and one of the guys comes up and is like, he's like, "Hey, I think you should go check on your buddy, on your friend." I was like, "Wait, where did he go?" I go outside. He is fucking blacked out, spread eagled on the ground. And there's a guy taking a picture of him and posted on Instagram and goes, "Come to our house party. It's this much fun." I saw the picture.
That's how you know it's lit.
And I'll show it to you. He was so gone. He had a bottle of Dasani water in his hand, just blacked out.
So there was a last minute decision,
Oh,
like a
dude.
good decision. Like,
Dude.
I need H2O.
So he was just
It was
like,
too late.
So he was
Dude.
just sneaking shots and you had no
Oh,
idea.
dude, he was getting fucked up, smoking, drinking while we were shooting the entire time. Here it is.
That is so
Damn, come to the house party.
Dude, the eyes roll into the back of
He's
his
just
head.
you probably can't see this, but he's completely laid flat.
Dude, check the water in his hand.
Hey, no, that's a
One
poster.
last good decision was made. Right.
That's the party poster right there.
That's an
I would
album.
use that for future parties. I'd just be like, "Party tonight."
That's an album cover. Just parental advisory in the corner.
that was the best one, and then the other one was like one of the most. It's stark in contrast with that, where we were going to trap houses, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm talking trap houses don't have running water, all carpeted floors, and we would just shoot these things in garages. And I remember I brought my buddy Adam, who's like one of my best friends. Like he was shooting it, and for some reason I think the rapper didn't think he was like enthused because he wasn't. Adam,
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't intimidated. We were just like, WTF? Like, why are we here? So he walks over and starts grabbing his shoulders, and he's like, "Move the camera, bro. Like, move the camera." So Adam's like shooting, and this dude's grabbing his shoulders and like telling him to move the camera.
so annoying.
And like when we finished shooting, like the guy was like, "Hey, so do you want us to pay you now and come back tomorrow?" And I was like, "You know what? Don't worry about paying. We'll just come back tomorrow and we'll take the money." And we didn't come back the next day.
Yep. The shit got weird.
Good decision.
All right, last one. I swear to God, it's quick. I promise.
Wait,
but
can I just share my real quick?
Yeah.
I filmed the wedding one time. I filmed a lot of weddings, Indian, Muslim, Pakistani, all normal. This is one Pakistani wedding that I filmed where like the dad and the mom were like dancing or something, and then suddenly he's like, "Oh, here's this shotgun I have," and like he's just like dancing with the shotgun.
An actual
And it's
like weapon,
like a
like a gun?
real weapon. Like it was in a
12 gauge out
case.
here.
It was in like a big ass case, and he was like, "Hey, in the air!" Like, well, I was like, "Surely that's not loaded." But you never fucking know. And then they're dancing, and then he's just like, pointing at the audience.
my-
Everyone's like, "Ah!"
Oh my!
I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? I'm sitting there. He's like pointing near
That's
me
a
near the
wedding?
camera. I'm like, I need to leave immediately. Luckily, nothing happened.
Dude.
But why would you do that?
You never shot it?
You never shot it.
No,
I'm just like,
whoa.
haha, I'm pretending to aim it at the audience.
I've seen that in YouTube videos at weddings.
So
like,
funny.
people fire
That's
guns.
how I
ratchet ass shit
funded.
for a wedding.
That's how I funded life when I was in the early stages of shooting greener pastures before like the funding came in, because like weddings, dude, and been to some really cool weddings. There was a Nigerian wedding Apparently, Nigerian weddings are notoriously known for starting really late.
Bad.
They were
So
3
like
hours
anyways.
behind schedule.
Oh my god.
Like we didn't start like first dance until midnight.
Damn.
Yeah, and like,
Bro, I thought
but
Indian people were bad.
the cool thing was the families catered the food. Like the grandmothers made all of the food and like brought it, and I was like, damn, they didn't even like hire a caterer or anything.
That'd
But
be delicious though.
dude, it was
Yeah,
good.
it was
No, it was good.
amazing.
But dude, weddings, yeah, man, pay your dues.
It's rough.
Yeah.
We did like a 5 a.m. to 2 a.m. wedding one time.
God.
Remember?
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
We had to be there at 5.
Why was it that long?
Whose was it?
It was Vic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
Mhm,
like
yeah.
we stayed till like 1 a.m. for that reception. I'm like, bro, we've been at it since 5.
Yeah.
Like, we need
You
to
got that
go.
overtime, right?
Hell no. Flat fee. You know it's a flat fee for a wedding.
You know what's funny is you make decent money though. Like I was shooting. This is what I call these pimp houses because like they're like agencies or like they're wedding companies where they basically just they have like a mass editing company on retainer.
There's like green something.
Dude, they'll
I did that for them too. Like, you shoot the footage and send it. to
send
them.
it. Yeah, dude. And like these guys are like not putting any care into these edits.
Yeah.
Like, they're just so formulaic. They're like, yep,
Yeah, it's like
yep,
boom, boom,
yep,
boom,
bam, it's done in an hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you're doing those, I did a lot of those. You get paid well though. You make like $700 a day.
Yeah, it's
for
not bad.
like
Shit.
it's not that bad. Yeah.
Well, you do the right amount of time at the wedding.
You know what's
Make it
shitty
work.
though is like you have to like beg and ask for breaks or for food. Has that ever happened to you where you feel like there was like a post that went viral on Reddit, on Twitter? I don't know if you guys ever saw this where there was I think it was I forget if it was a guy or a girl, but they were like, ended up quitting on the wedding because they didn't even have food for me. Do you guys remember seeing that on Twitter?
No.
It like went viral.
That shit's trash.
But like, yeah, they usually don't even like bake in simple human needs. Right?
Right? They're like, I want you to be on your feet all day, no water, no, like, I don't know.
That's tough, man.
They'll
It's
sit you
brutal.
by like, oh, we'll set up a small table for you because we totally forgot.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
dude, Bridezilla's, man.
You know what's funny though? Like, so like we like I've done a few weddings too, like mostly with Serge, and it's been mostly Indian weddings, which is like notoriously long. So
I've done one indie wedding, George and Blasey.
So the first like traditional wedding that I shot, like, you know, Western traditional wedding, you know, we were ready and the reception is over in like 15 minutes. And I was like,
What?
oh, we're done. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, bet. Okay, I've got the rest of my day. Like, you know, like,
Did it really only
what-
last like?
remember it was at Cox Hall.
Oh,
It was the outdoor
The
wedding.
rec-
The reception was super
The reception
quick.
was 15 minutes.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
wedding still went, but like that's what I'm saying. Like foreign weddings, like the reception is notorious. Everything is notoriously long.
What time were you finished?
Dude, I mean, we started with like noon, and the reception was over in like 20. It like blink, and I missed it, and I was like, "That was
no
it."
recollection of this.
That's because it was too short.
Yeah,
It was
it was so short. I was happy inside. I was like, "Oh my god, we're done. I'm getting paid for this. This is
Yeah.
done." Oh, bet.
I've
Like,
done the
this-
weddings. I hate it. I hate it. They're always so fucking stressful and shit.
Have you okay? I'm sorry. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit again.
We've been switching gears. All
Have-
the
have
last
you-
We're like
15
an
As-
8-speed bike.
because I want to give some like advice to anybody that's like trying to get into film. Like a common pitfall for creators is like, once I get this piece of equipment, then I'll be able to do X, X, and X.
Gear acquisition syndrome.
Have you ever
Oh, yeah, dude.
Gas.
fallen into that pitfall?
Well, is it in what light then? Is it kind of like
like, I mean,
If I get this new camera, then I'm gonna be hot. If I get this $1,000 lens, then like I'll be hot. If I get the fucking Ronin so that all of my shots are super smooth, like then I'll be hot. If I get the tripod with the ball head with the wheels on it,
this
Then I'll be
is
hot.
dude? I mean, this is like the best piece of advice I think I can give. Well, like 2 pieces of advice.
Listen closely now, y'all, because I was gonna ask like, what advice can you?
Oh,
leave
do you
with
want
them,
me to wrap? Do you want me to wrap that up with that? You want me,
Oh no, answer this question.
no,
go ahead.
Well, I'll answer the gear question, then we can go to the advice one.
Yeah.
The gear one's interesting because everyone wants nice and shiny new toys. But dude, I mean, it took like this is the progression that I went. T2i, had the T2i for a few months, then went to the sold that, got the T3i for a couple months, then went to the 60D, then after that went to the 6D,
All Canon, by
and
the
then
way.
so after those 4 cameras, 4 DSLRs, after 2017 to about 2012 to about 2015, I eventually made the bridge to the Sony A7S1 in 2016.
mirrorless.
And then I went to the A7S2 in 2017.
Hell yeah.
Then I went to the FS5. Then I went to the FS5 II, and now I'm on the FX6.
nice.
Nice.
So 9 cameras in a span of 10 years.
So
Yeah.
you're a Sony
Yeah, Sony now.
diehard now.
So
Yeah.
it's shit.
I tried to like upgrade at least once a year.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, man, it's like you got.
You stay on top of it as far as like looking up what new technologies are coming out. Like you read journals and things like that to stay up to date.
I used to be a really big gearhead, and then I kind of slowed it down a little bit because I realized that I'm not really like a grip gaffing DP type. Like when you're a filmmaker, like not a filmmaker, when you're like a director or writer, you kind of like, I still love technology. Like I love technology. This is like cool, and you guys are all nerds, so we're like really nerding out right now, which is awesome. Yeah. So I'm paying homage to that, but like I try to also really embrace like, you got to be somewhat of like an auteur. You have to understand process. So like, if I'm not focused on gear as much as I am, I'm trying to understand story more than anything.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even though you went through like all those camera, like your mindset should still be like your talent still comes first. It's not like, oh, I have this camera right now. If I want to be better, or if I want to elevate to the next level, I need this piece of gear. Like, that's not necessarily true.
Gear certainly helps, but I would say, man, like, make the best with what you have.
Yeah.
And like, just do shit. Just go do stuff. Like, I think the biggest thing, like, I mean, I tell Thomas this all the time.
Do it with your phone.
Like, I tell Thomas, like, I'm always asking him, like, because I guess the issue with capstone projects is that they aren't doing capstones anymore. They're doing internships. Okay. And nothing's wrong with internships. Like, it's great, like, resume boosting.
So there's
experience.
no final capstone anymore for the program?
No,
because we had to do. I did a short film.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what Little Warriors was my capstone. So like, it's more flexible now. Where like 90% of kids are doing internships.
Gotcha.
And like, what the difficult thing about what they teach you in school at the IU level, and it's different. It's not like Tisch, NYU. It's not USC. It's not Chapman. So I understand it, but like they're coming from a more practical light where like you gotta have some gear, you gotta have the lights, you gotta do this shit, and you gotta like get a job, get the resume. It's ultimately just gonna come down to the person, like how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
Right? Just like you guys have a self-sustaining business, like you wanted that, man. Like you went for it. Like no one told you to do this in school.
No.
Yeah.
Like so, it's like it just comes down to the.
And if we would have said we wanted to, we would have been told to do the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And to have this autonomy and this freedom to even say something like, "Oh, my old job's under," like that's got to be pretty dope to say. Yeah, you're like, "Fuck those guys." Like I'm doing.
Sorry,
my
Tony.
Rainmakers.
My channel has like 1 million subscribers. Like that's huge. So that's just something to be proud of. And it just at the end of the day, man, it's all about the person.
So is that I think that is the best advice, is to like make sure you have the deep passion for it, and know that it's not just an arbitrarily like, I'm going to go to school, get this and this, and then I'll have this job. It is all so much more than that.
No one's gonna care about the piece of paper that says you graduated, but they will look at the reel that you've created or the portfolio.
And
like
you can put whatever you want on that.
Yeah, your portfolio is the most important thing.
Everyone has a cell phone now. Most of your favorite movies growing up were shot on technology that was less than your cell phone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really,
Oh, yeah.
you can make anything on anything. You just need to understand, if you had a camera that was stuck only shooting in black and white and 420p, then you need to make a story that's going to fit around the fact that it's 420p in black and white.
Look at Ethan and Gila. They're juggernauts in the YouTube space and the fashion space now. And I remember Gila shot a lot of that on her phone. Like most of that was shot
Oh, dude,
on
content creators, TikTok, like Vine, that's all phone stuff. Yeah, I mean,
And I know because I shoot a lot of like film photography, and like in the film world, people get really hyped up on gear. But it's at the end of the day, they're like, bro, you can get the dopest film camera you want. It's all still shooting on the same medium. And just like you can get the dopest any kind of camera you want, it's all still shooting on a sensor at the end of the day. So it's like the thing on the back end, like what you shoot, what you put in front of your lens is always gonna be 10 times more important than like the lens itself or anything behind it.
Right.
Like you need to understand why you get something instead of just being hyped on getting it.
And it's the same with school. Like, why are you going to, like, I don't care if you're in Indy, Iowa, New York, wherever.
CalArts.
Wherever you have a school that can teach you kind of some of these basics, which are very important, you still have to have that something else that drives you.
the all-encompassing bit of feedback that I can say is, like with film in general and just entertainment, man, like growing up, you hear it's all about who you know, and you always just kind of like overlooked it. You thought it was just like, dude, like,
No,
Like, I'll be so good that they'll know me.
oh, dude, like half of it. I mean, you see like the least most talented people make it.
Oh,
and
fuck yeah.
and their stuff is terrible. It's like it's seriously about who you know, man. Like who you're friends with. You got to be well liked. It's a popularity contest, man. Just put yourself out there, like.
Learn some charisma. It can be learned.
Yeah, man. Just be a fun person, and everyone should just like you. So that's how I just try to, when I interact with people and try to meet new people and just do stuff. I just try to be, how do I treat them the way you'd want to be treated.
And you can self-teach yourself too, man. There's so many tutorials on YouTube for so many things, like especially programs like, editing programs. Like I self-taught myself photography, and then I became a wedding photographer. Like I did
Gang.
not
Same here,
go,
bro.
yeah, I didn't go to school for photography. I just watched a bunch of YouTube videos, bought a camera, started doing it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm pretty good. I'm gonna start making money on this now. Like,
Yeah, we're kind of about to wrap it up here. That's
we
the
got
main
some
thing.
JJK to show
Just
y'all.
Keep doing things. Just do things.
do things, do
Yeah.
projects, set deadlines, stick to them.
Enjoy it too. If you ain't having fun, you ain't doing it right. Fun
Yeah.
fact, speaking of having fun, we like to dance. And so we did a little dancey JJK thing. Animation is cool because obviously it is. We watch a lot of animation in general. And this has animation and dancing in it. So
Yeah. Oh, there's a good amount of people still watching us.
Yeah.
All right. Were you all waiting for the JJK thing? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, about
I'm sure
the
you guys thought
JJK
this
thing.
was insightful.
Spencer, can you run it up?
Well, as you know, the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, this is another anime that's really popular right now.
I'm tuned
The
in.
movie just came out. It's in theaters now in America. It already played in theaters in Japan. Won't be out for streaming for a couple months. We are going to do a reaction to that movie. But to commemorate the release of the movie in the Americas today, we have this fun project we are going to show you now.
Yep. But we're going to say bye before we show it to you because after that, you're not going to see us again.
Is that how we're doing it? Well, yo, all
Who
right.
made this? We made it, baby.
We
No,
made it.
as you guys know, our rogue editor Hunter is big into animation, or as you know now. So we literally have to consult him to figure out exactly how it was made. I know we did a little bit of rotoscoping, but he went hard on it. We worked with some other outside animators for in-betweens. I think Serge got more information on that.
Yeah, just like the Death Note OP, I've just been wanting to do these anime intros, but normified. And so the next one, like even while we were doing the Death Note one, I'm like, we have to do Jujutsu Kaisen. Like that's my favorite. That was like my most played Spotify song last year. And so, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're about to publish it on YouTube. We wanted you guys to see it first. And then, of course, we're going to put it behind our movie reaction. But yeah, just a little taste because it was something long in the making. It was finally done and ready to post. And
A lot of hard work that went into that.
Yeah, so shout out in the chat. Thank you for y'all that stuck around to the end. And thank you, Sam, for gracing us with your presence, giving us a lot of info about
Good conversation.
filmmaking. Hell yeah. And when is your Normies feature doc coming out, about us?
Dude, whenever, man. The story's awesome. You guys are doing some really cool stuff. Like I want to come here for when's the million? You guys gonna have like a party for the 1 million subscribers?
Oh, yeah. We're going to
hell
pop
yeah.
bottles of champagne. We're doing it all.
Do you guys get like the YouTube plaque and all that too?
We have
from them?
one plaque now. We'll get a new one at 1 million.
We got the 100,000 plaque, and then we'll get another at 1 million. For this
They don't do one for like 5 or 750?
No, it's
And the
100
plaques
million,
are
10 million.
And the plaques are low key lamer now. Like they used to be really cool.
I want to see the 100 actually.
It's still cool. It's still cool. We'll show
It's
you.
still
You guys
cool.
We're going to get our own custom one
But
made
I'm
for
talking about like
500.
the old school
I've seen the
boys where it
butts,
was
but I haven't
like
seen the plaque. Let me see the
The
plaque.
plaque.
We'll show you
We're
the
moving
plaque.
studios, so much. Like we had all these swords on the wall from Game of Thrones you missed, but yeah.
yeah, well, you'll have to come back to the house where it's organized.
Is it gonna be bigger than this space?
It is.
Yeah, a little
around
bit
the
bigger.
same size.
What's the square
I'd say.
footage? This is pretty big.
12?
This is like
Well, it doesn't count the common room.
Yeah, the
though.
common
the
room's
common
huge.
room is like
But I mean, like
The common room
it's
supposed to be
ours.
ours, but no one else is in this.
No one else
basement,
is gonna
so
work
It is
here.
ours.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like at least 2,500 probably.
Yeah, come man.
Yeah.
We have NormieCon this year too. You stop by
Dude,
if you want.
Yeah, come through.
Absolutely,
got,
man.
like,
Hell yeah, that'd be great.
70 attendees coming.
Speaking
out.
of, right? Hope some of y'all who are watching are coming to NormieCon because it's going to be
Yeah.
absolutely lit. The NormieCon video is going to be hype, and I don't want you to have FOMO.
The cutoff is April 1st, so this is
You got time.
last chance to register in the last couple of weeks.
Literally, no joke.
Yeah.
Well, play the outro. We out of here. We'll see you guys at the next podcast. I'm going to touch your stomach.
I don't know what to take this.
That ran a little bit. That ran longer than you guys probably wanted to.
No,
I mean,
that's
that's
all right.
pretty average.
I mean, we're literally right at the mark.
Yeah, usually